Hi everyone, this is Arcadius and welcome back to Naval Creed. Today we'll be going over the next British heavy cruiser, and that is the Tier 9 Oxford, or as I've renamed her, Drake. Now this ship is actually very nice looking. I did mention that when the ship did come out, and still to this day, she is still a gorgeous looking ship. I actually haven't had many chances to play the ship. However, I've been pretty much focusing on the lower tier ships and also the tier 10 one pretty recently. But the ship was pretty good back when I did play her, and it seems like she might have gotten a little bit better as well. Well, mainly in terms of her fire percent chance to set a fire. That was increased for, I think, all the British heavy cruisers. And it really does show because this thing lights fires like crazy. All right, so let's take a look to see what kind of stats we have first. We have 47,300 health, 15% torpedo damage resistance, 13 millimeters to 178 millimeters of armor, which is, I think, more than Albemarle, because Albemarle got, what, 152? Yep, 152. So, yeah, we got a little bit more armor. Let's see where that is. Belt armor is 152, so it's still the same, but it looks like the turret faces have thicker armor, so they are potentially more survivable, though I can't really say I've had any trouble with the turrets being knocked out on these ships. That's not usually something you find very often, except maybe on destroyers. But then again, you don't really have armor on destroyers, so there we go. I do see we have a potential shell catch as well, just like Albemarle. Let's take a look at the Citadel. Yep, we do have a shell catch again. So, if you're not aware of what that is, if you get overmatched to the bow or stern with a high enough caliber gun, it could possibly arm here or here on the Citadel and give a Citadel hit through the bow and stern. That's not helped by the fact that Drake has a flat stern, which means that this is technically a flat side, so you can still get full penetrations and possible Citadel hits through the stern. Even though it is a very small target, it's still possible. I've done it to Vanguard multiple times, so it's not exactly easy, but it's not hard either. You do have a little bit of armor plate that wraps around there, just like we saw on Albemarle, but it's really not that much, and it's only there to protect the steering gear anyways. Other than that, it's not terrible. Pretty much you just have the same mentality as all other heavy cruisers. Don't get broadside, because you will soon get Citadel very easily and explode. She's very similar to Neptune in that way as well, which is also tier 9, or technically 8.5, but close enough. Alright, let's see what else we have. We have 4 triple 8-inch guns. Now, this was the only ship in the game to have this kind of setup before Vallejo came out, or as I've renamed her, Charleston, which we'll go over in another video, which is the Worcester with the 4 triple Baltimore turrets, Mark 15s. But for a moment, this was the only ship in the game with 4 triple 8-inch guns. And that's a lot of firepower that we don't really see anywhere else. And these guns have a fire rate of 4.8 rounds a minute, so kind of slow on the reload, but not terrible. I think mine's up to 5.61, so it's a lot better. 180-degree turn time, 30 seconds. You can see all the stats here. Fast shell velocity, good HE piercing. HE fire chance is 16.6%, but with 12 shells every, I don't know what the reload in seconds is, but you set a lot of fires regardless. Main gun range is 16.9 kilometers. Secondary range is 5.0. Surprisingly, the secondaries on the ship are not terrible. You have the same, your secondaries on the main guns you would find on Jutland. Let me just bring up that ship real quick. And here she is. So they're the same 114 mils. These are actually pretty decent, not gonna lie. We only have the 2 in the front, but they're not terrible. They're not very long range, considering they only go out to 5 kilometers, but they at least do damage against destroyers pretty decently if they hit. And you have 1 there, and you have 2 there along the sides. So you also have those. On Torpedoes, 10 kilometers again, 60 knots, so I think they're a little faster than Albemarle's. Yep, we go 5 knots faster. And we increase damage from 13,200 to 15,400. And I believe these are quads again. Actually, no, they might be quins. Let me double check that. Yeah, they're quintuple, so we have 5 torpedoes per side. So not only are they faster, they go 10 kilometers, and they do more damage. So pretty good. However, at tier 9, your enemies also have more health. So it's not that much, but yeah, you definitely put a few holes in the side of a battleship, or you can sink a cruiser pretty easily. And your torpedo angles are really good as well. Speed is 33 knots, so you're still pretty fast. I do have help buffs and speed buffs, so I do go faster than that. And we also get a plane, a fighter. And I played this a couple days ago, and I'm pretty sure she has a triple fighter she launches. We will figure that out again in the video, as usual, but I am pretty sure it's a triple, and we also have the Spitfire again. Lastly, we have AA. Let me just pull that up. Her AA is actually pretty decent. Pretty good middle range. Her outer range is pretty okay as well. Inner range is there as well. I don't have any AA skills applied right now. See, there's just the base ranges. But if you think that your guns are good enough, you could definitely go for a full AA build. I don't think it'd be that terrible. You can see how much AA is lined up on the ship. You see all the 20 mils up here, and you have the pom-poms back there, the octuples. I'm pretty sure the 114s are dual purpose as well, but I cannot confirm nor deny that. But they're there in case they are. And you even have some guns on the stern, some more 20 mils. So the ship is pretty decent with AA as well, in my opinion, but I don't run her as a full AA ship. Alright, so let's toss her into... Actually, nope, before that, we actually have to go over consumables. Not much of a change. We have the cruiser DCP. I'm using the super repair because even though it lasts less and has a longer cooldown, I get 4 charges. We went over this in the Albemarle video, and I will be using that one. And then we also have a smoke screen, which is pretty good because we have, well, even starting at Hawkins, but even more now so, we have heavy cruiser firepower with a smoke screen to conceal. We have a fighter for over smoke screen detection of ships. The air detection is less on all vessels, but I mean, it's still a little bit better than waiting until they're 2 kilometers away from you to be proxy spotted. So let's toss her into a game and see what we can do. Alright, let's see what kind of game we're tossed into today. We have 4 battleships, 3 cruisers, and 2 destroyers. So no carrier, but that's alright. We do have a Frede de Gros though, so we do have to be careful about the secondary guns. One other thing about the update that I forgot to mention, there was actually some changes made to the newest tier 20 ship. I forget what her... yeah, her name is Heinen, that's what it was. I've renamed her Yushen, so I was having trouble remembering. It's mainly changes to squadron size and armament damage. So similar to the changes they made to Victorious back when she had her changes, they took the squadron size of 4 and dropped it down to 2, but they increased the damages from the bombs and torpedoes to reflect, well, you still do the same amount of damage if you get 100% hits, but you only have half the squadron you used to, which makes it harder to actually get strikes off because you don't get any increased health for your aircraft. So they're still shot down pretty easily. The helicopters are not that strong in my opinion. I'm actually not that big of a fan of Yushen or Heinen, but I mean, she gets a good free XP and she can one-shot pretty much anything that she can come across. Though surprisingly, I was tossed into a tier 7 game with her. I don't know if that's going to be a common thing from now on, but if it is, she will just absolutely ruffle stomp any ship she comes across. That being said, I did come across the corner in one of the islands and was face to face with 4 battleship secondaries and soon sank. But regardless, if she's able to just use your aircraft and keep the ship safe, you have nothing to fear whatsoever. We'll have to play more games in her. We'll have our own video on her in, well, a few days or so. We have to finish up the British Heavy Cruisers. I have to do the video on the event that's currently happening right now. And then we can go over ships like Vallejo, we have Toulouse, and we also have Yushan. We have a few ships to go over still. Alright, now that we got that out of the way, actually let's see what kind of fighter we have. Yep, we have a triple fighter. So that's nice for spotting. Where am I in conjunction to the Freddy? Okay, there we go. You know what? Might as well just launch some torpedoes out here because you never know what you're going to hit. I'm going to pop a smoke screen. I had to slow down before I activated my smoke because I'm actually too fast and I exit my smoke screen. 2 fires immediately. I really wish there was a damage counter in the corner. I would love to see how much damage I do in strikes sometimes. And just overall in the entire game before having to finish the game to see it. Well, we already have 2 fires. Let's see what else we can do. There's 1 fire on Fargo. We get 1 on Rostislav. Well, my secondaries are opening up on that Tashkent. We got 1 hit. There's 1 fire on Rostislav. What about Drake? Can I get 1 on Drake? And this is pretty much just how you play this ship. You just switch target. There's a fire. There's another Fargo. I damaged the main gun, but no fire, surprisingly. Still no fire, so I guess we're just going to switch target then. Well, I can try 1 more time. And then I might as well just launch some torps there. There we go, we have a fire. And then we just do it all over again. See, the Rostislav just put her fire out. So let's see what we can do to give her another one. That was almost 6,500 damage on that Rostislav with high explosive. That's not something I could usually do with battleships either. And so our secondaries are shooting the Fargo. I don't really expect them to do much, but they are doing a little bit of damage. Looks like our plane's being shot down. We got a secondary kill. Or potentially a fire kill. I actually couldn't tell. Let's just switch over to armor piercing real quick to show you how that works as we get another fire on the Rostislav. Let's see if we can work over this Fargo. The armor piercing can be kind of disappointing. It's not always disappointing, but I'd also like it to be more consistent. So I just usually tend to stick with armor piercing just to be safe. But you can do massive amounts of damage like I just did on this Rostislav if you really wanted to. My smoke screen's going to be up in a moment, so we're going to slow down and stop again. The accuracy is not bad, but I do prefer the increased rate of fire and reload, so that's what I run with instead of accuracy. Though as a tier 9, she is subject to equip the improved accuracy module that gives you 15% better accuracy versus only 7 for other tiers. 8 and below, well, 7 and below. But I choose not to run this ship with that module. We're going to finish off this Fargo real quick with 2 more fires. Not in a position to torpedo the line anymore, but that's fine. We're just going to set her on fire as well. I'm losing track of ships, so let's put our fighters in the air to spot. And I was hoping that would spot the lion, but I guess not. Alright, well, there is the Rostislav. You can at least finish her up. And there's the lion. Alright, there goes the Rostislav. We're going to turn in because we might have to rush and torpedo the Missouri? Yeah, the Missouri. But until we have to, we're just going to keep the island between me and her, so I only have to deal with one ship at a time. AA is shooting a couple of these planes. I haven't really shot anything down yet, though. Alright, I would like to know where this line is. Oh, she's right there. Okay, well that's a bit closer than I expected. We're gonna pop some torpedoes in that direction because it looks like she's turning. We might have just got 2 fires. I don't remember if she was burning already or not. But we're gonna try and get a few more. We're gonna aim for the bow and the stern and try and get fires at those locations as well. There's one on the stern and over 10,000 damage just in high explosive. See if we can get one on the bow as well. Not enough lead. But still 11,000 damage. You can see how you don't need armor piercing, you just need high explosive, and you're really good in the ship. Still not enough lead, but if she doesn't burn, she'll take a torpedo and go down. And then we just have Missouri, which is actually shooting at us. Ow. Yep, that hurt. But have and a fire. And it looks like... no, I was thinking about rushing her, but 16-inch guns can overmatch my bow. So I am going to go sneaky sneaky and just smoke up and hide. Which means she will no longer be shooting me. Got another fire. Let's put some torpedoes out for her. And let's see how many fires we can set on her. There's another one. And we should be able to get the last one here. Oh, no, she survived a little bit longer. But our torpedoes are going to make contact. And that should finish her off. There we go. Alright, so let's see how we did. $330,000 damage, 5 ships sunk, 245 shell hits, 5 torpedo hits, 3 aircraft shot down, 1 citadel, 17 fires, 1 flooding, 1 module destroyed, and 32 secondary hits. We had 134,000 damage in HE, 54,000 damage in armor piercing, 91,000 damage in fires. Secondary battery did just over 5,000, and torpedoes did 44,500. So you can kind of see how using her as an HE spammer can be pretty effective. Now I do have buffs to my HE fire chance besides the ship itself. I have a couple ornaments that increase that. So that may not be your base fire chance, but you can still get quite a few fires. And honestly, you saw me at the beginning. I just set one ship on fire, went to the next, set another one on fire, went to the next. It's a very good strategy with the ship because you just get a lot of fire damage and it adds up over time. And then you can use your torpedoes or you can use your armor piercing. It really doesn't matter because the ship is actually very, very strong. One of the strongest heavy cruisers at tier 9. With that, I will wrap up today's video. If you liked the video, make sure you like and subscribe, and join me next time while we go over the pinnacle of the British heavy cruiser line. That is the tier 10 Admiral, which is a very, very strong ship. So again, thank you so much and take care.